Almost 1 out of every 4 vehicles on the road today have suspension issues. Did you know that? This implies that thousands of cars are already on the road with rusty struts, damaged control arms, or worn-out shocks without the drivers even noticing it. The worst part comes next. A difficult ride isn't the only consequence of a malfunctioning suspension. It entails a greater chance of accidents, longer stopping distances, and less control over your vehicle. Consider it. What would happen if your car's suspension failed when you were traveling at 70 miles per hour on the highway? It's not only costly, it's risky. Here's the good news though. I'm going to give you some easy yet revolutionary methods in this video that will help you keep your suspension in excellent condition for many years, preventing costly repairs and ensuring your safety while driving. I have an extra tip that most mechanics won't tell you, so stay tuned until the very end. However, it can prevent total suspension breakdown in your vehicle. Let's begin. Let's start by discussing something that hardly everyone does but ought to: examining and tightening the bolts on your suspension. The bolts holding your suspension together are damaged each time you drive over a pothole, speed bump, or uneven road. They get looser with time, leaving microscopic spaces that let important parts like shocks, struts, and control arms move out of alignment. The outcome? A shaky ride, unequal tension, and premature wear. It's easy to repair. Get a torque wrench, consult your vehicle's handbook, and tighten those bolts to the specified tension. Ask your mechanic to inspect these at each service if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself. You may save thousands of dollars on future repairs by tightening for a few minutes. The quiet guardians of your suspension come next: the rubber parts. These consist of CV axle boots, bushings, and seals. Additionally, they are essential in maintaining the cushioning and protection of your suspension components from wear, heat, and grime. Here's the issue though. These rubber components eventually dry up, crack, and disintegrate, putting your suspension at risk of major harm. Your rubber bushings are probably fried if you've ever heard a clunking or cracking sound when turning or going over bumps on the road. The good news? By using a rubber rejuvenator such as at 205 Reseal or a comparable polymer-based spray, you may avoid this. You may prevent future expensive suspension breakdowns by simply spraying it straight over the rubber parts a few times a year, keeping them pliable, soft, and free of cracks. You need to prevent rust on your suspension if you reside in an area that experiences snowfall, rain, or excessive humidity. Road salt and moisture are persistent hazards for metal components like coil springs, struts, and control arms. Rust spreads quickly once it begins, weakening the metal and leading to unexpected component snaps. The last thing you want is to be that person whose suspension gives out in the middle of the road. This is what you do. Every few months, spray the metal parts of your suspension with a rust-proofing agent such as WD-40 Experts or fluid film. By creating a barrier against salt and moisture, it stops rust before it begins. And believe me when I say that this small practice may extend the life of your suspension by years. The next one is so easy, yet so often forgotten: turning your tires. The majority of people believe that tire rotation is just important for tire preservation, but here's why it's important. Your suspension is ruined by uneven tires. Your car's equilibrium is upset when one tire wears out more quickly than the others, which puts undue strain on the control arms, shocks, and struts. Suspension failure, poor alignment, and vibrations result from this. The remedy? After 5,000 to 7,500 miles, rotate your tires. It maintains your car's balance, smooth ride, and stress-free suspension. Checking the ride height of your automobile is a professional advice that most people forget. Your automobile will sit lower than it should as a result of strut sagging, bushing failure, and weakening suspension springs. Your handling isn't only ruined. All suspension parts are subjected to increased stress, which causes damage to accumulate over time. The good news? It's really simple to check. Simply measure the distance between the wheel hub and the fender and compare it to the manufacturer's specifications of your vehicle. Your suspension is wearing out quickly if it's resting too low, so you should take action before it's too late. It's time to use these effective strategies for extending the suspension life of your vehicle. Which advice caught you off guard the most? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Stay safe, and see you in the next one.